gaslighting here today, and particularly the gaslighters' favorite tactic. And in this episode, you'll discover the favorite tactic of gaslighters and some of the tools that they use to kind of accomplish their goals. And so we want to take a closer look at this. This is all part of our Beyond Betrayal ministry. Beyond Betrayal is an outreach that we have, free resources to help people to discover that life can be good again beyond betrayal. And actually, probably the best place you can find us on is on Facebook at beyondbetrayal.org. So let's go ahead and we'll jump in and get started with this discussion. Hello, Karen. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. How about you?
Good. I'm just getting over my little bout with COVID, but but I'm doing a lot better. Thank you for asking. So, gaslighting. That what are your thoughts? Just general thoughts about gaslighting. You don't have to have anything nailed down. Just give me kind of like anything that's rattling around in your brain right now.
All right. So I would say to me, the thing that
Mm-hmm.
is the thing that stands out the most right now about gaslighting is probably one of the most misunderstood topics of the day,
Okay.
in our time. People use it so much
Mm-hmm.
and that they use it whenever somebody lies or if
Mm-hmm.
somebody's a narcissist, but those things are not necessarily the same thing.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to try to sort through some of this stuff here today
Hmm.
and see what we can figure out. We have a video that we want to just react to, and so let's just go ahead and watch that at this time.
And your subjective experience has a great deal to do with its connection with objective experience, what actually is, what actually has happened. And what gaslighters do is they really screw up your subjective experience, your internal GPS, by making you question the objective data, stuff that you knew, saw, experienced, felt, and they'll tell you that's not true. They have tools to do that. So if we don't know, what's happening here, who I am, who I really am, and what's safe and good and what's not, we're on very, very, very flimsy ground. I hate it that this is true, but it's just true. Gaslighters use what is a very, very important part of you and all of us. The good part that we need to know is knowing our reality. But what I mean by they use a good part is one of the ways that we humans determine reality is by taking outside input.
Yeah, I thought that was good. When he contrasts our subjective or our inner experience with
Right.
the objective world around us, and gaslighters really are effective at chipping away our confidence
Hmm.
in our inner experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
I think they
go
tend
ahead.
to prey on people too who have like low confidence to begin with, and
Yeah,
you know, I think a lot of it has to do with control and um, you know different things like that. So
predators are almost always very adept at sniffing out prey,
yeah.
and people who have a solid sense of self
Hmm.
and are have a clear boundaries
Yeah.
that that gaslighters tend to pass those by for more vulnerable people.
Hmm. Yeah.
I was thinking about this actually just before the broadcast, and that it seems to me that gaslighting, well, the favorite tool of gaslighters is to to undermine your your confidence in your understanding of objective reality.
Right.
That gaslighting really is about deceit and manipulation. You know, and it's really about deceit and manipulation for selfish purposes.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so
So I was reading about like the difference between a narcissist and a gaslighter, and
mhm,
probably just like there's a lot to it, but
sure,
one of the things that stood out to me is a narcissist is trying to lie and deceive to make themselves look better,
yeah,
and whereas a gaslighter, their purpose is to make you feel less, like make you
mm,
question
mhm,
yourself, have your self-worth, crumble, that sort of thing.
yeah, yeah. Here's some I went through and I cataloged a few tactics that gaslighters use, and we'll probably come back to this in a future video from Henry Cloud. But one is that gaslighters deny facts.
Yeah.
That they often deny things that have happened or insist that you're misremembering events.
Hmm. Yeah.
Has that ever happened for you?
No, that's never happened for me. You're remembering this wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yes, that has happened for me. I actually was in a situation not too long ago where um, I was with a bunch of other people,
Hmm.
and um, and the person that was in charge of our group um, specifically like picked out people who had mental illnesses or came
Mm.
from backgrounds of abuse and that sort of thing, and would pit us against each other,
Mm.
and just really like a whole lot of psychological stuff going on in that situation, and
Yeah.
really messed with a lot of people too, because
Hmm.
it really just rattles your foundation because it makes you question everything you believe in.
Yeah, your own ability to interpret reality. One of the
Yeah.
things that gaslighters do is they twist conversations.
Hmm.
So they twist your words or take them out of context to make you feel misunderstood or crazy. And I
Right.
had that experience myself, where that that the things that I said were taken out of context,
Hmm.
twisted,
Yeah.
and that it kind of is a little bit unnerving when there's a group that's working this,
Yeah.
because then it really throws you off balance, because you do begin to question your own sense of your own understanding of reality. You
Yeah.
know.
Because it's one thing when it's like, oh, one person is telling you something,
Hmm.
and you can go, okay, well, let me get other outside
Yeah.
opinion. But when it's a whole group that's like kind of going up against you, then
Hmm.
yeah, it's like, who do you trust?
Yeah. Yeah. Subtle manipulation. Gaslighters often use subtle remarks or behaviors that can be easily dismissed, making you question whether you're overreacting.
Hmm.
So they'll say things to kind of like work you,
Yeah.
and then and then when you
Get
uh,
riled up or
yeah,
whatever, or take the bait. Whenever you take the
yeah,
bait,
take
then
the bait. That's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was one thing I realized is that like when I was at that place is um, there was a lot of bait, but it always
mhm.
had a hook in it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's for sure. So isolation. This is a favorite tool of gaslighters, is that they'll separate you from your friends and family, making it harder for you to seek validation or support from others.
Yeah.
And Henry Cloud talked a little bit about this in the video clip that we looked at. But we really do take our cues about reality from
Hmm.
those around us. We rely on a large part from those around us.
Yeah.
And so that if the gaslighter is kind of like the wolf that wants to separate the weaker members of the herd from the herd, so that then he can prey on them. So,
Yeah.
But projection, gaslighters may project their own insecurities or faults on you, making you feel responsible for their behavior.
Yeah. I was smiling because the place where I was, on the first day that I met this person that was controlling everything, they were explaining to me how things work, and they said, "Well, this isn't a cult." And I should have taken that as a, "Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, what am I getting myself into?" But I took it at the time. I was like, "Oh yeah, it must not be, like taking that person at their word, because."
Yeah. 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 Don't worry, we're not a cult. Look the other direction. So, just a couple other real quick ones is that gaslighters create a sense of chaos. By constantly changing the narrative or introducing new lies, they create a chaotic environment that makes it hard to discern the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really nefarious,
Yeah.
And it's particularly problematic when it happens with people that you trust.
Yeah.
I
think that, like, both of us, our situations were people who were Christian, like, not all necessarily authorities, but respectable Christians, people that were, other people looked up to and everything. And
Yeah.
so it really is bad, because, these are people who Christians should be truth tellers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It should be. Yeah.
And
People
virtuous
of
people.
integrity. Yeah.
Right. And so when it happens in an environment like that, it's really damaging, not just to your sense of reality, but also to your faith. I feel like that it really gets you to go like, what in the world, And I think it does a lot of damage within the church,
Oh, yeah.
which,
Yeah.
the enemy knows, and put wolves in sheep's clothing in those kind of situations to crumble the church from the inside out.
Yeah. So finally, that gaslighters feign concern. So they might pretend or care about your feelings, using this facade to manipulate you further and maintain control.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because if you can get somebody to talk to you when they're, "Oh, hey, tell me more about that," and everything.
Yeah.
More fodder for your fire.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then they twist that and turn it back on around you.
Exactly. So, well, we're going to be exploring this whole topic of gaslighting as we go along, and we've got more videos to come. But I appreciate your comments along these lines. Anything else before we wrap up for today?
Yeah. My recommendation to people would, don't be go telling your spouse that they're a gaslighter or something like that. Stop using these things as like buzzwords, that you're throwing out in the middle of fights and stuff, like, I keep hearing people, "Oh, my husband called me a gaslighter," and I'm like, okay, come on, like.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes, in some cases, it's true. So I mean,
Yes,
but
not every single person isn't a gaslighter.
Yeah, that's true, but that's a topic for another day. But where there's productive ways to have conflict, and if you can learn productive ways to have conflict in relationships, you're going to be so much further ahead, because then you change the game. And that's the same with gaslighters, is that if you just if you learn how to have productive conversations and to assert your own and that doesn't mean that you're aggressive, but you assert your own point of view, and
Mhm.
and you have strong boundaries, that's going to be hard for them to penetrate. They're going to move on to easier prey, you know.
Yeah. Well,
So,
and I think that you need to remain firmly planted in who you are.
mm-hmm.
You know, nobody knows you better than you do,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
So if somebody is telling you uh, that they do, they're telling you
mm-hmm.
all these things about you. Uh,
Yeah,
take a step back because you're the expert on you.
yeah, exactly. We're going to be talking more about how to some of the ways that you can protect yourself in these types of situations, but we'll save that for a future broadcast. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Thanks again, Karen, for spending some time with me here today on this particular topic. So you can find the way forward after betrayal. I'm convinced that betrayal is not the end of the story, it's just a chapter in your story, and life can be good again beyond betrayal. And that's what we want to do, is to help you to discover that. And one of the best places to do that is to find us online at beyondbetrayal.org, or jump over to our Facebook page. That's really probably the best place to go, is at beyondbetrayal.org on Facebook. And so I hope that this broadcast has opened your eyes a little bit more to this practice of gaslighting, so that you can prevent yourself from being victimized by others. Thanks again for watching. I hope to see you next time.